Tonight in Cleveland, preseason basketball tips off with two teams heading in very different directions, but both chasing the same prize. The Cavaliers, fresh off a season that saw them rise to the top of the East, still feels the sting of a playoff exit. Injuries derailed their run last spring, and with Darius Garland still on the mend, all eyes turn to a new face, Lonzo Ball, as he joins Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt tonight. The Bulls arrive with a youthful edge building around Kobe White and newly extended Josh Giddey, plus a promising rookie from France, Noah Essengiu. Chicago's betting big on development, and tonight they get an early test against one of the East's elite. It's the Bulls and the Cavs. Greetings from our Temecula studios. This is the Hardwood Report. I am Ryder Bullock. In sports, we often say the preseason doesn't matter. The standings won't remember who won tonight. No banners will hang for October victories, and no careers will be defined by what happens in a tune-up game. But the preseason does matter in other ways. It's where questions begin to find answers, where off-season promises meet on-court reality, where a rookie's potential, a veteran's resurgence, and a team's chemistry begin to take shape. A year ago, the Cleveland Cavaliers lost every preseason game they played. 4 straight setbacks, forgotten in the glow of 15 consecutive wins to open the season. Proof that these games aren't about the final score, they're about the first impressions. Tonight at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Cavs fans get their first glimpse of a new year. One with fresh expectations, renewed optimism, and the return of basketball nights in Cleveland. Across the floor, the Chicago Bulls, young, hungry, and hoping that promise turns into progress. Matez Bozez, the sophomore sensation, looks to show that his breakout is only beginning. Noah Essengiu, the rookie with length and intrigue, takes his first steps onto an NBA court. The wins and losses may not count yet, but the effort, the execution, and the excitement most certainly do. From October to spring, and perhaps, if all goes right, early summer. The Cavaliers' journey begins again. This is the preseason. It's not about what matters most, it's about what matters next. And what is next on the horizon is a pair of Eastern Conference foes with very different storylines, yet both with something to prove as we embark on the 25-26 NBA season. For the Chicago Bulls, last season was a tale of two halves. After stumbling through the early months, they found their rhythm down the stretch, winning 15 of their final 20 games, a better finish than the East's elite. But the late surge came too late as Chicago bowed out in the play-in tournament for the third straight year. Gone is Zach LaVine, and with his departure, a new era has begun, one centered around Kobe White and Josh Giddey, and the promising young forward, Matez Bozez. White, now entering his 7th season, emerged as one of the league's breakout stars, lifting the Bulls with career highs across the board. And in Bozez, the local kid from Chicago, and rookie Noah Essengiu, and the Bulls front office believes the pieces are finally in place for growth. And if you're looking for motivation, look no further than their head coach. Billy Donovan enters this season freshly enshrined in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, a reminder of his pedigree and the winning culture he's trying to instill in the Windy City. But tonight's opponent offers a stark contrast in trajectory. The Cleveland Cavaliers stormed through last season, finishing 64-18, the best mark in the East, and one of the highest scoring teams in league history. They boasted 3 All-Star players, the Defensive Player of the Year in Evan Mobley, and Coach of the Year honors for Kenny Atkinson. Yet for the second straight year, their postseason run fell short, ending in the conference semifinals. So this fall, Cleveland's mission is clear: turn regular season dominance into playoff breakthrough. They bring back their star core, Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Allen, while adding Lonzo Ball, who makes his return after a long recovery, and veteran pieces Thomas Bryant and Larry Nance Jr. The question, can this group stay healthy and deliver when it matters most? So as preseason begins, the Bulls and Cavs meet again, one trying to climb back into contention, the other seeking the final step toward a championship. Two proud franchises, two compelling storylines, one fresh start. Tip-off coming your way in about 23 minutes from now. So, this is the Hardwood Report. I am Ryder Bullock. You say, what is this show? What is it about? Who are you? Well, thanks for asking. And the Hardwood Report is your new home for NBA pregame shows. We will be here select games throughout the season and the big games and all of that stuff. Expert analysis and player interviews, player profiles, news, scores, highlights from around basketball, NBA and college basketball as well. So keep it locked right here for the Hardwood Report all season long, and then be sure to listen to the Ryder Report on this same channel immediately following all the basketball games that the Hardwood Report covers. So that's what this is. With all of that said, let's deep dive into what's trending in the National Basketball Association. In Milwaukee, the story of Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks has become a study in loyalty, legacy, and the relentless pursuit of championships. This summer, as questions swirled about his future, General Manager John Horst traveled nearly 6,000 miles to Athens, Greece, not for a vacation, but for a conversation. There, face-to-face with the two-time MVP, Horst made his case. A new roster anchored by Giannis and bolstered by Miles Turner, brought in after the bold decision to waive Damian Lillard. It was a gamble, one that came at a steep financial price and without Giannis's prior approval. And in that meeting, for perhaps the first time, the Greek Freak openly questioned whether Milwaukee could still give him what he craves most, another championship. Since lifting the Larry O'Brien Trophy in 2021, the Bucks have stumbled. 3 straight first-round exits, each one more frustrating than the last. Injuries, inconsistency, and unmet expectations have turned a once dominant team into a franchise at a crossroads. Behind the scenes, the whispers grew louder. Giannis and his representatives quietly explored the landscape, and one destination, the New York Knicks, emerged as his only preferred alternative. The Bucks took the call, conversations were had, but a deal never materialized. So Giannis returns, still loyal, still driven, but with his eyes wide open. He's made it clear the goal is to win, and the clock is ticking. 2 years remain on his deal before free agency beckons. Milwaukee knows the stakes. A strong start could steady the ship. A stumble could open the door for a seismic shift across the league. For now, he remains the face of the franchise, a transcendent player averaging numbers no one else ever has. But the weight of expectation hangs heavy. In Milwaukee, it's championship or bust, and the league watches with bated breath, because this much is certain. If Giannis Antetokounmpo ever decides his best chance to win lies elsewhere, the entire NBA landscape will change overnight. For the Bucks, the season ahead is more than a schedule, it's a referendum on their future. And with that, we want to look quickly at the Bucks' schedule and what they might be able to do this year. We look at their opening game October 22nd against the against the Wizards. Then that's at home. Then Friday the 24th, the Raptors. Then they have the Cavaliers. Then the Knicks Tuesday night, and the Warriors and the Bucks on October 30th. So, you got to play some tough teams in the East, right? The Knicks, the Cavs, 2 games right there that will set a tone early, and then that October 30th matchup against the Warriors. So 3 interesting tests for this Milwaukee team that is hoping to get out to a fast start. Meanwhile, in the league, LeBron James teased a major announcement today, sparking speculation about his future with the Los Angeles Lakers. Many fans believed it might be a retirement announcement or a major career decision, especially since James is entering his 23rd NBA season and is not under contract beyond this year. However, the Decision 2.0 turned out to be an advertisement and a playful nod to his famous 2010 decision when he announced he was joining the Miami Heat. James revealed a new partnership campaign with Hennessy VSOP. In the ad released early by Hennessy, James says, quote, "This fall, I'm going to be taking my talents to Hennessy VSOP," mirroring his iconic phrasing from 15 years ago. The campaign includes a limited edition orange bottle featuring James's name and his signature crowning gesture, celebrating his King James legacy. Leading up to the reveal, social media buzzed with theories about James's career plans, and ticket prices for the Lakers' final game skyrocketed amid retirement rumors. The ad concludes with James saying, "I like my decision." In Dallas, the number 1 overall pick Cooper Flagg made an impressive NBA preseason debut last night, showcasing his all-around game in the Dallas Mavericks' 106-89 win over the Oklahoma City Thunder in Fort Worth. The 18-year-old rookie filled the stat sheet in just 14 minutes, posting 10.6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block without committing a turnover. Flagg's scoring came in a 2.5-minute burst in the second quarter, highlighted by a coast-to-coast layup for his first points. 2 made three-pointers, including one as the pick-and-roll ball handler, and a pair of free throws after a spin move in traffic. He shot 3 of 6 from the field and 2 of 3 from deep, while also displaying strong defense early with a weak side block that led to a fast break dunk by Anthony Davis. Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd praised the rookie's balanced performance, saying, "You got to see the defensive side, the playmaking, and then the scoring. He was really, really good." Flagg emphasized his team-first mindset, just taking whatever the defense gives me, keeping it simple, making the right play. The Thunder rested all their regular starters coming off a back-to-back following a win in Charleston the night before. The Memphis Grizzlies and Oklahoma City Thunder are both facing early season injury setbacks to key players, creating uncertainty ahead of the 25-26 NBA season tip-off. In Memphis, star guard Ja Morant is listed week to week with a sprained left ankle suffered during Sunday's practice. Head coach Tumis Azola downplayed long-term concern, saying, quote, "Luckily it's preseason and we look to have him back soon." Morant's injuries compounds an already difficult situation for the Grizzlies, who are also without Zach Edey, recovering from ankle surgery in June and expected back mid to late November, and Jaren Jackson Jr. still rehabbing from turf toe surgery in July, leaving his status for the October 22nd opener against New Orleans uncertain. Morant has struggled with availability in the past 2 years, appearing in only 59 games due to the suspension and injuries, including a torn lumbar that ended his 2024 season early. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma City, promising second-year guard Nikola Topic underwent a testicular procedure yesterday and will be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. The 20-year-old Serbian, selected 12th overall in 2024, was preparing to make his NBA debut after missing his rookie season with a torn ACL. Topic played well in OKC's preseason opener, logging 10 points and 7 assists in 31 minutes. The Thunder, who opened their season October 21st against Houston, will also be without big man Thomas Sorber, who will miss the year with a torn ACL. Both teams now enter the preseason balancing development with the hope of getting key young players healthy in time for meaningful games. Cavs and the Bulls coming your way in about 13 minutes from now, but it is not the only matchup on the slate. There's a matchup in Minneapolis that could easily pass for a late April showdown. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Indiana Pacers. Both clubs arrive with unfinished business and renewed ambition. Minnesota, coming off a 49-33 season and a trip to the Western Conference Finals, proved last spring that their young core is built for the moment. They knocked off the Lakers, stunned the Warriors, and gave the eventual champion Oklahoma City Thunder all they could handle. Their preseason opener against Denver was more of the same, a 126-116 win, sparked not by Anthony Edwards, who rested, but by a bench that looked energized and ready to contribute in meaningful ways. Bones Highland led the charge, offering a glimpse at what the Wolves are growing up to be. On the other bench, the Indiana Pacers return with confidence and a new identity forged in the fires of a finals run, their first since the year 2000. Tyrese Halliburton guided them heroically through the postseason, but his Achilles injury late in the finals left Indiana facing an early test of resilience. With Halliburton still on the mend, the Pacers will use this preseason to tinker, to evaluate, and to strengthen the supporting cast that carried them so far last season. For a franchise that rediscovered its belief, tonight is about maintaining that momentum. And with that, we look at the first of two Tales of the Tape. Take a look at team stats for the Pacers and the Timberwolves 2024-25 regular season. Pacers came in at 50-32. They were fourth in the standings. Home and away, 20 for 20. Ninth on offense, 14th on defense, for a net rating of 13th. Minnesota 49-33, sixth in the standings. Home and away 25-16, eighth in offense, sixth in defense, for a net rating of fourth. Players to watch: Pascal Siakam averaged 20.2 points a game last year, 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Anthony Edwards is my player to watch for Minnesota, 27.6 points, 5.7 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Team leaders in points: Pascal Siakam with 20, Anthony Edwards with 27. Pascal Siakam leads in rebounds, Pascal Siakam leads the Pacers in rebounds with 6, but Rudy Gobert out-rebounds him with 10. And then Julius Randle has 4.7 assists for Minnesota. Tyrese Halliburton, of course, the assist leader for Indiana with 9.2. Out for the season, however, so somebody will have to do the assist pickup. Previous matchup, March 24th, 2025. Pacers won at 119-103. Halliburton had 24 points, 11 assists. Miles Turner had 9 rebounds. Tyrese Halliburton not playing tonight, of course, with the Achilles injury. Miles Turner also not playing, as he is now a Milwaukee Buck. Timberwolves, Naz Reid had 20 points. Rudy Gobert 16. Mike Conley with 5. Top performers on March 24th, we mentioned that: Naz Reid, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Halliburton had 24, 4 and 11. In the last 5 matchups, Timberwolves won 3-2. They lead the series. And projected starters for tonight, the Pacers: Nembhard, Nesmith, Mathurin, Siakam, and Huff. Projected starters for the Timberwolves: Conley, Edwards, McDaniels, Randall, and Gobert. Injury report for the Pacers: Halliburton out for the season with the Achilles. Isaiah Jackson, a game-time decision Achilles. Cam Jones out with a back. Ben Shepherd, game-time decision undisclosed. And James Wiseman, game-time decision Achilles. Injury report for the Timberwolves: Mike Conley, game-time decision rest. Anthony Edwards, game-time decision rest. Leonard Miller, game-time decision finger. Julius Randle, game-time decision rest. Tip-off from the Target Center is set for 8 Eastern, 7 Central. It's only October, but these games help reveal depth, chemistry, and the early signs of who might be ready to rise once again. With 8 minutes till tip-off between the Bulls and the Cavaliers, we want to shift back to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And it's an early look at two teams heading in different directions. One a polished contender, the other still laying its foundation. The Cavaliers come off a spectacular 64-18 campaign, the best in the East, led by All-Stars Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and anchored by Defensive Player of the Year Evan Mobley. Kenny Atkinson earned Coach of the Year honors, and Cleveland enters this season with one goal: to finish what they started. For the Bulls, a 39-43 finish last season showed signs of a rebuild beginning to take shape. Josh Giddey emerged as a centerpiece, while Ayo Dosunmu and rookie Matej Buzelis provide promise. Chicago's focus tonight: testing combinations, finding chemistry and identity who fits along their young core. Now, let's look at our next tale of the tape for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls. Players to watch: Nikola Vucevic, 18.5 points last season, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. I like Donovan Mitchell for Cleveland, 24 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists. Team leaders in points: Kobe White for the Bulls, Donovan Mitchell for the Cavaliers, 20 and 24 respectively. Nikola Vucevic, 10.1 rebounds. Josh Giddey, 7.2 assists. For Cleveland, Jarrett Allen, 9.7 rebounds. Darius Garland, 6.7 assists. Look at their previous matchup. On April the 8th of 2025, Cavs won at 135-113. Darius Garland scored 28. Evan Mobley had 12 rebounds and 7 assists. Patrick Williams had 21. Zach Collins had 13 rebounds. And Matej Buzelis, tied with Patrick Williams, had 5 assists. Top performers: Patrick Williams and Darius Garland. We talked about that. The last 5 matchups: Cavs 4, Bulls 1. Projected starters for the Bulls: Dosunmu, Giddey, Herter, Buzelis, and Vucevic. For the Cavs: Lonzo Ball, Mitchell, Hunter, Allen, and Mobley. Injury report: Kobe White, game-time decision with a calf for the Bulls. For the Cavaliers, Darius Garland is out with a toe. Craig Porter Jr., it's a game-time decision with the hamstring. And Max Strutz out with the foot. Take a look at the numbers, because even in October, Vegas always has a say. Cavaliers at minus 310 on the money line. Bulls plus 240 underdog spread. Cleveland favored by 7.5. Total points 229.5. These odds reflect the gap in experience and depth. Cleveland's star power makes them the favorite with roughly an 85% chance to win. But preseason basketball is often a test lab. Rotation change, minutes are managed, and outcomes are anything but guaranteed. The Bulls, with their youth and energy, could cover that 7.5 point spread if they keep things competitive early. Here's my keys to the game. Number 1, rotation readiness. How deep into the bench will both coaches go? Expect limited minutes for stars and opportunities for role players to shine. Number 2, chemistry check. For Chicago, the goal isn't the scoreboard, it's cohesion. Watch how Giddey orchestrates the offense with the new faces. Number 3, defensive identity. Cleveland's calling card last season was elite defense. Will that intensity carry into the preseason? Health and rest. The preseason is about rhythm, not risk. Don't be surprised if rotations shorten the pace and lower the scoring. In October, the results don't define you. The habits do. For Cleveland, it's about sharpening a championship edge. For Chicago, it's about discovering who they are and who they might become. Preseason games may fade from memory, but the lessons learned can echo all season long. Tip-off is coming up next, the Bulls and the Cavaliers. For the Hardwood Report, this is Ryder Bullock.